everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We have a couple of teams who come off losses just 1 week ago and now want to flip things back in a positive direction. It's the Cardinals going up against the Redskins. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one taken from the 7. Powers through, and he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 14th year now. Played his college ball at NC State, Phillip Rivers.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss. Okay, and he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Not much room here as he only gets into about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's got the rookie from Clemson, Mike Williams. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So 2nd and 10 here. From the gun, Rivers. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A first down throw here for Rivers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. Deshaun Kaiser, the former Notre Dame man, will lead his troops onto the field.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
And no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
A first update now from Cleveland. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The rookie from BYU, here's Jamal Williams. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. What we just saw, we saw a lot of last week. He had 5 tackles for loss a week ago and 1 here in the first quarter now.
And I think a lot of that comes from not just his athletic ability and his intelligence and understanding how he's being blocked and how to get to the ball carriers, but also comes from scheme as well. When you've got a guy that hot, playing that well, your defense coordinator is looking for ways to create mismatches and get him to the football.
Rivers on first down. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? Like Garrett Blount, his first 1,000-yard season since, what, 2010, his rookie year? And 18 touchdowns in the regular season, and no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but yeah, such a productive year, and then he's gone.
Well, that just tells you this. Now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder trying to prove something.
They'll run it here with Blount, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He is going to find Hill here. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, Yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And to give this time to the tailback. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Rivers now from the 50. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Rivers now on 2nd down. Looking sideline, incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The rookie from Alabama, Jonathan Allen, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is knocked down from the side near the 34-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be second down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 15. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. He's had one of those games. They start on the ground here with Blount. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now a second down throw for Rivers. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Kaiser now to throw on first down. And some space here. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Kaiser now. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll try to throw here. Kaiser. It's complete. Stills. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And some room to roam now. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. Second quarter in Cleveland. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
But I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Caught left side, Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Second down, Rivers. Screen pass to Blunt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A gain of 6 there on first. Off the play fake here, Rivers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Trent Murphy in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. And that is incomplete. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. The 20. Touchdown, Redskins.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. The rookie from Alabama, Jonathan Allen. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now Rivers. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. First down, Kaiser. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. On first and 10, Kaiser. And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Kaiser. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, I'm glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. They've gone to the second quarter in Buffalo. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins, they're out to an early lead over the Bills. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Kaiser on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback. Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Justin Hunter, the one he was searching for. And it's second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it with Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll throw here. Kaiser. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up third and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitch...
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. The rookie from Alabama, Jonathan Allen. And it'll be a second and long.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So possession goes over here on the punt. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put him through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
To throw is Kaiser. Ebron with it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Play clock winding down. On third and short, going with their tight end. And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. To throw, Rivers. And Gibbs got it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. This is the running back, Blue. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Looking to throw on second down. Rivers, complete here to Gary Barnidge. And he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they're... Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter. Play fake, Rivers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A second down throw for Rivers. Well, this is caught by Ginn. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, Rivers. And Barnidge has it on the right side. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
To the air again here, Rivers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On third down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get... Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number, led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had, or the scheme, or both, or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Rivers on first down. Looking deep for his tight end. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch. For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want...
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. LeGarrette Blount with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. A first down throw for Kaiser. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And the play clock's running down. Second down, Kaiser. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for the running back, Joe Williams, there. And it's 3rd and short.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Kaiser. Oh, no, he lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 37. And Dawson's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not all that joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jay Howard in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. And he's got room. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. He's back to throw. And he checks this one down to Williams. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Back to throw. And this one's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They'll look to throw. Underneath here to Hill. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction, shoot, my man Old Mo is arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
They find some open field here. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 14 on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard. And the spike comes with 9 seconds left to go. So this thing is all going to come down to the right foot of Phil Dawson. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So this thing is all going to come down to the right foot of Phil Dawson. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So what a finish here as they maneuver into the outside of his range. He steps up and drills it from long distance.
And Brandon, that was no gimme, was it? These kickers, though, all they want is a chance. And he knew that one was good the second it left his foot.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won. And fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for the Redskins, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.